thought I'd take a video today. It's a beautiful day out other than it's cold. Anyway, driving down the road in the semi here, and I was going to talk about a couple of things about people that's thinking about becoming a truck driver, or that's considered it, or that's going to be getting ready to go through training. Anyway, a couple things I want to talk about here. The pay's pretty good for not having, well, first of all, let's do the pros. The pros of driving is once you get experience, I don't know, they're needing truck drivers so bad anymore in this world, which, why wouldn't they? You get no respect. Everybody hates you out here on the road. Nobody wants to be behind you. Nobody wants to let you over. Nobody can ever see your blinker. People's texting and driving. They're on their phone. They're doing everything but paying attention. So, but with that being said, the pros of the job is it pays pretty well. I mean, you could raise a family on it, or if you were single, you could live real good. Just like I said, being single. So that's pretty much the pros about it. Like I said, it pays good. Once you get your experience, whether it's 6 months to a year to 2 years, a lot of guys got to go over the road for a while. I got lucky about that. I didn't have to go over the road. So, but a lot of guys got to go with Schneider, Pam, Swift, places like that, to get their CDL and go over the road for a little while to get experience. But once they get that experience, they can come back here and they can be like me, and you can be home every night. So, like I said, that's pretty much the pros. You can have a good schedule. It pays well. Some companies have great benefits. Some companies just pay well. But like I said, with that being said, like I said, this video, if you see this and you are going to school to be a truck driver, or you're considering it, if I could go back 15 years, I would definitely not drive a truck. If you want praise and glory, join the military or become a firefighter, EMT / firefighter. Mostly every place anymore that I know of used to be able to be a firefighter without being a paramedic, but nowadays I think it's about mandatory everywhere you go to be a paramedic. Or to be a firefighter, you got to be a paramedic too. So, but my thing with driving this truck, I would definitely tell everybody not to do it. Like I said, if I could go back 15 years ago, well, even 18 years ago, just right out of high school, I'd go to college and I would definitely do something different. I think about doing stuff different all the time now. One of my buddies asked me if I heard anything on CB, which, as you can tell, I don't have a CB in this truck, but he asked me, he said, are truck drivers going to go on strike, or I heard a lot of people's going to quit driving on a certain day. I haven't heard really nothing about that. Like I said, I don't have a CB in this truck though, but like I said, it wouldn't matter if truck drivers went on strike for a day or two. That wouldn't matter. If everybody would come together, which everybody in this world knows it's not going to happen, but if every truck driver in this world would come together and would quit driving for 3 weeks to a month, then truck drivers would actually get some respect, because people wouldn't have fuel to get to work, they wouldn't have food to eat, they wouldn't have anything. But that'd be the only way truck drivers will ever get respect. But once again, you got Pam and Swift and Schneider and Prime. You got all these companies, and everybody needs to work. You know, everybody's got to pay bills. They got house payments. They got, you know, if they're paying out of pocket for health care, if they got kids, you know, they know everybody has to work. So truck drivers ain't ever going to go on strike. There might be some that gets mad, some of the owner operators that have a lot of money. They might get mad and strike, but as far as trucking, truck drivers ain't ever going to quit driving. Like I said, they got to support a family and themselves and everything, but I would I would drink water like I have told several people. I drink water for 2 weeks or longer and not even eat for people to quit driving the truck. And I would do it too if I knew everybody's going to, because the respect you get out here on the road is ridiculous. I've already been cut off 2 or 3 times today, and you know, people think that you can just stop. you know, one of these things. You got 53-foot trailer back there, and people automatically think they can just cut you off and you can stop. And you know, you just get so old of being out here almost every day and putting up with these idiot people. And I'm not sitting here saying that truck drivers aren't idiots either. I'm not saying that at all. There's a lot of idiot truckers out here too, and I'm not denying that. So I'm not saying every trucker out here is a saint, but I'm just saying, you know, you get no respect out here whatsoever. Just like right here. See, I'm going to move over here because you got a semi in the right lane that's broke down. And then you got, I don't know if you can see it, but these two cars right here, they got all the lanes here ever, and not one of them cars are going to move over for it. You see that? Guy broke down. And so that's what you put up with out here. I mean, nobody, either people don't know the laws or they don't care. But I've had cars, they'll pass me, I'll move over, they'll pass me on the right side of the road while somebody's got their flashers on in the other lane, just because people don't care. People don't have no respect for nobody anymore. And, you know, it makes sense. Look at the world that we're living in right now. People don't even respect themselves, let alone anybody else. So, if you don't respect yourself, how are you going to respect anybody else? So, like I said, you know, that just proves my point right there. This guy here, that car there, several cars behind me. There's a semi broke down the right-hand lane, and nobody moves over for him or her. It could have been a woman. But, you know, and once again, I'm not just saying you should move over because he's a semi. You know, a lot of places it's the law to move over. And, you know, if it was a car broke down, a semi, a cop, I don't care what it is. I'm going to move over because that's the right thing to do, and I respect people. The only time I'm not going to move over is if there's a car in my other lane and I can't move over. As you can see, I'm on a 4-lane highway right now, and if there's a car right here that's liking to ride in my blind spot, he just wants to sit there. He don't want to pass me or go around me. He just wants to sit in my blind spot. Cars are notorious for that too. So if anybody's watching this video, don't be this guy right here that just likes to sit in your blind spot and ride. Either pass the semi or get behind them. So, but see, as you can tell, he's still sitting right there in my blind spot. And once again, riding beside a semi is not a good idea. If you blow a tire, if my steer tire goes out, you know, I'm going that way. So, you know, I could run this dude right over if my thing went out right now, if my tire went out. So, just a little bit of common sense in this world goes a long ways. You don't have to be a brain surgeon. You don't have to be smart. I'm definitely not smart. My grades showed it in high school. That's why I didn't go on to college, play sports, and get my degree and stuff, because I didn't keep my grades up. So, you know, like I said, I'm not an intelligent person. I don't claim to be. But a little bit of common sense in this world goes a long ways. And common sense ain't too common anymore. So, like I said, if you're watching this video and you're thinking about becoming a trucker, or you're getting ready to go through training, I'm not trying to talk you out of it, but think about something else you could do. I know it's hard to get a job that pays well, and I can't lie, this does pay well, but like I said, you deal with idiots all day long, and it's gotten worse now with the technology, because everybody wants to text and drive. Nobody pays attention. So, you know, like I said before, I've got a 53-foot trailer I'm hauling now. I got lights down the side of it, my lights here on my cab, and either people don't care or they're looking at their phone, because no one ever sees my blinker when I want over. And I don't know how, if you're not paying attention, how you cannot see a blinker on a semi wanting over. I mean, I just look at some of these people out here and I just think you cannot be that stupid. I mean, you got to have a little bit of common sense. I mean, you can't tell me you're that brain dead. But like I said, you know, people want to cut you off. People, you know, you got to watch people, even in a car. I mean, everybody knows that. You got to watch people all the time. I mean, people get in your lane. They won't check their blind spot. They'll just turn on their blinker and come on over. I mean, you just gotta watch people constantly. I plan on people slamming on their brakes, cutting me off. I plan on that all the time. You know, if I'm on a 6-lane highway, before I switch lanes, I'll look down here in my little mirror there, and I don't know if you can see it, but I'll watch there for a while before I'll switch lanes, because I know the four-wheeler is not going to pay attention, and he's going to come over regardless. So I watch that all the time. I watch that little thing right there, the little mirror. See, there's my big mirror. Here's my second mirror, and that's to watch for blind spots in cars in your blind spot there. So I'll check that several times. I'll look up here, I'll look down here on my blind spot, look back up, and sometimes I'll even triple check that spot there to make sure a car didn't get mad, want to hurry up and get by me, or, you know, just impatient or not caring, you know. But I'd like people to think about that in this world, though, that, you know, once again, I'm not glorifying truck drivers or anything, but, you know, when the coronavirus was going on and we were locked down, you know, truckers were like, oh my God, we gotta have truckers for this, we gotta have truckers for that. You know, now Pfizer's coming out with a vaccine that's 90-95% effective, but it has to be like 90-some degrees below zero or something. It's got to be freezing. Well, who's going to haul all these vaccines? Ding ding, truck drivers. You know, who hauls all your fuel to get to work and go on vacations and everything? Truck drivers. If you eat, you know, truck drivers brought that food. Truck drivers haul everything all over the U.S. You know, so your food, your fuel, your dinner table, your couches, your TVs, everything, your kids' gifts, everything that you see has been transported on a truck. But yet we're out here doing this job that gets no respect whatsoever every day. And as you can tell, there's semis just constantly. You will not go on the freeway and not see semis. They're just, that's the way it is, because if it wasn't for truck drivers, America stops. That's just all there is to it. If you don't want to eat, and you don't want to get to work for fuel and everything, and if you don't want nothing in life, then that's fine, you know. But like I said, people's just idiots out here, and we get no praise, no thank you. I've been driving on and off for 10 years, and I've never had one person come up, shake my hand, or just say, hey, you know, I really appreciate what you do. You know, and I appreciate everybody. I don't care if you work at Wendy's. I don't care if you're a janitor. I was grown up, I'll treat the CEO of a company the same way I'm going to treat a janitor. I treat everybody with respect until I'm disrespected. You know, if you disrespect me, I might fly off the handle and go off on you. But I'm not going to do it just to do it, because that's not the kind of person I am. I respect everybody and every job everyone does in this world, because they're there for a reason. If you didn't need them, they wouldn't be working there. If people would quit eating fast food, you wouldn't need fast food workers. So, like I said, I respect everyone. And, you know, I just think it's unbelievable that when you're out here, that you just get no respect whatsoever. I tell my mechanic thanks all the time for fixing my car, you know. If he didn't fix my car, I wouldn't be able to get to work. And which in return, I wouldn't be able to get to work to drive a semi to haul people's goods. So I mean, the world goes hand in hand. You need everybody in this world to make it, but I'm just amazed by the way the world treats people, you know. It's like everybody wants to think that they're better than everybody else because of the job they do. And, you know, even cops. I was always going to become a cop, and that people that know me know that I was going to go to school for my criminal justice degree and become a cop. So when I was young, I started out at doing security. I served divorce, child support, subpoena papers, eviction notices I did that for almost 10 years. And then I was a correction officer. Took my training at Orient's jail, which I just passed Orient, by the way. Took my training at Orient's, Orient's not jail, I'm sorry, prison. Took my training at Orient's prison, and then went on to become a correction officer at a jail. So at that time, I couldn't be a cop until I was 21, so that's why I was a process server, which, for people that don't know, a process server is the one that serves divorce, child support, subpoena papers, eviction notices, and all that good stuff. So I was a process server, did security, and did corrections. because I could do all them jobs at 18, but I couldn't be a cop at 21 at the time. So, but where I was going with it on this story is that cops, so perfect example. People love cops or hate cops. You get a lot of respect or you get none at all. So what you got to think about, no matter what, being a cop's like kind of like being a referee. In a basketball game or football game, no matter what call you make, half the fans are going to be pissed and half the fans are going to be happy. Well, that's the same way with the cop. Cops get called on a lot of domestic calls, of course. So when a cop gets out there, they're going to have one person that's happy and one person that's pissed, because one person called the cops on somebody that wants them there, and then the other person don't want them there. So going back to like the referee, you're always going to have somebody mad at you and somebody happy with you, because one person wants you there and one person don't. So yeah, it's just like I said, it's the world we live in, and you know, it's just, I could tell even when I was serving papers, every couple years you could just see the world going down and down, and it was just getting worse and worse. And I dated someone that had kids, and the way these parents bring up their kids, they want to be friends with them. They don't want to be parents anymore. So these kids do no wrong. So when the teacher, I remember back in the day, teachers used to call up my parents, or they would have teacher conferences. And man, if I was screwing off in class or doing something wrong, my parents would come home and they would be all over me. And they'd tell me, you know, you better get your shit together and all this and that. Nowadays, 3/4 of the parents don't even show up to teacher conferences. And if they do, they want to blame the teacher, you know, because it's a race issue, or, you know, or you don't like my son, or, you know, my son or daughter's a good kid and they wouldn't do that, you know. So they're blaming the teacher, and they're blaming the principals, they're blaming the bus drivers, they're blaming everybody but their kid. And like I said, with serving papers and the way these kids are brought up, I'm shocked, you know, and I've seen it firsthand that everybody that I know that has kids, they treat them this way. And it's like, this is why the world's the way it is, you know. That's why a lot of these people are out there, you know, rioting and looting and stuff, because they were never told no as a kid, or they got participation trophies. Now these are your kids that's grown up, and they're rioting and protesting because they're not getting their way. So they think it's all right to set businesses on fire and break windows and throw bricks and, you know, treat cops like shit, because that's how they were brought up. And they can do that because, you know what, they can't get in trouble, because they were brought up that their parents told them, hey, you can do whatever you want, I got your back, you're not going to get in trouble. We're going to blame the teacher, the principal, the cop, we're going to throw out the race card, we're going to do this, we're going to do that. So these kids that grow up, it's not their fault that they didn't have parents to raise them right. So, but anyway, I'm getting off topic, you know. I'm just saying the world's in a mess, and nobody cares about nobody or respects anybody anymore. So, like I said, if you're thinking about becoming a truck driver, or you're getting ready to go through schooling, I would really consider doing something else if you can. I mean, if you're at the stage that you're like, hey, I really need a job and I have to get out there. I mean, once you get your CDL, truck driving jobs are a dime a dozen. And you know, you'll always have a job driving a truck. That's one good thing about it, driving a semi. But like I said, if you're debating between 2 or 3 jobs, my personal experience, definitely don't drive a truck. If you've got a college degree and somebody's hiring, take that job. If you got a job that's going to pay real good with great benefits, and you're thinking about becoming a truck driver, take that job. I mean, there ain't no life in this. I mean, everybody wants to talk about the military, that wasn't able to vote during the election, or their votes hadn't come in, and everybody wants to talk about the military. Well, they're never home. Well, there's some of these guys that's out here on the road that's hauling all your goods for months at a time. They're never home either. And if you got families, you're not going to be home much. I bet you're lucky to be home once every month or two. And I'm saying that's going to be lucky, because what these big companies do is Swift and Schneider and Prime and all these big companies, they will get a trainer out there, and you'll drive with a trainer for so many months. I think it's 100,000 miles or like 2 or 3 months. I forget what it is anymore. And so these companies are making big money off of you while you're training, because see, that truck's probably running 22 hours out of the day, because legally you're allowed to drive 11 hours. So they're going to max you and the trainer out every day. So if you think about it, once you get out on your own, you can only drive 11 hours max. So, but if there's 2 of you in the truck, you guys can legally drive 22 hours. Well, there's only 24 hours a day. So that truck can be running 22 out of 24 hours a day. And don't think these big companies aren't going to drive you guys to death, because the more you can drive, the more money they're going to make. And they're going to say, well, yeah, you're making more money too. Well, yeah, you're making more money, but you're not making what they're making. Believe that. So there's just a lot to think about. And if you got a family and you're going to go over the road, just keep in mind, no matter what that company says, they're going to blow smoke. You're going to be lucky to be home once or twice a month, or every 2 or 3 months. Once or twice every 2 to 3 months. So think about that. So 3, 6, 9, 12, you know, you're only going to be home when you're over the road. I bet you're going to be lucky to be home a week in 1 year. Think about that. 1 week, 7 days, and a whole entire year of being over the road. But see, our military get all the praise, and they're like, well, they're gone all the time, or they're on a base. Yeah, these truck drivers are in a truck driving 48 states and living in a freaking back of a bunk. They shower at truck stops. They don't see their family. They don't see their kids' games. They don't see nothing. But you know, truck drivers never get thought about when it comes to that. It's like, oh, they're just a truck driver. They just sit on their ass all day and don't do nothing. Well, I tell you what, like I said, 1 month without trucks driving, people would change their tunes about truck drivers. And you know, like I said, me doing this on and off for 10 years, you know, that's why I'm posting this video, because you know, I'm just beyond pissed about the way we get treated out here. And if it wasn't for us, America would stop. I mean, anybody that wants to argue with me on this channel about not needing truck drivers, and without truck drivers America stops, then give me reasons why that you think that why truck drivers, if everybody in this world would quit driving the truck, how you think this world would go on. Like I said, I've already said it several times. There wouldn't be, you know, this huge thing right here that this guy's hauling. I have no idea what it is, but it's going somewhere. So, you know, the guy's hauling steel, the guy's hauling food, the guy's hauling fuel. You know, just the other day, nobody thinks about this. You know, trucking's dangerous. Don't believe me, look it up. It's in the top 10 every year of most dangerous jobs. But nobody thinks about it, because people think about firefighter, cops, and military. That's all that's on people's mind, and they've been brainwashed. It's kind of like religion. People brainwash you to believe what's right. So people grow up in America and think, oh my God, the military and cops and firefighters, they have such dangerous jobs. You know, they go and they go after gangs and drug dealers, and you know, they see some of the worst people, which they do. Not denying that. You know, military, their job's so dangerous. Kinda. The military pretty much has a 9-to-5 job, just like everybody else, unless there's a war going on. Everybody thinks the military's so dangerous, but it's not like you're going to war every day. It's not like once you sign to join the military that you're going to go to war. So, you know, it's been pretty calm right now. You know, Afghanistan and Iraq, we shouldn't even be over there anymore. Now, once again, that's my personal, you know, what I'm saying. That don't mean everybody's going to agree with me. And if you think there still needs to be troops in Iraq or Afghanistan, you can think that, but I don't think we need to be over there. You're losing a bunch of young kids and people over there for what? I mean, give me a reason why we're over there. We're never going to get them people an established government. They fought their whole life. They're going to continue to fight. As soon as we leave, they're going to fight again. It's just how they are. That's their country. It's like somebody coming over to from Iraq and telling us how to run our country. That ain't going to go over good, is it? Well, it's not going to go over there good either. And as you can tell, we've been over there for, oh geez, I can't even think. Since I've been probably 17 years old, probably 14, coming up on 15 years we've been over there, you know, once again, for what? But like I said, that's just how I feel about it. And I know this video's long, but I've had a lot to talk about, you know, just about the respect, jobs, but yeah, that's what I was going back at. So, you know, everybody thinks the military and cops and firefighters so dangerous, but you know what? Look it up. You don't have to take my word for it. Do your research, just like you should have picking a president. But people hated Trump so bad that they just were like, I'm going to vote for Biden because I hate Trump. But you know what? Do your research. Look it up. Farmers, truck drivers, the catfishers that go out on the ocean, yeah, all them jobs right there. Dangerous Catch, you probably heard of the TV show. Look up all them jobs. And I'm telling you, police work has just now gotten bad because of all the trouble that's going on in Portland and everything, which, you know, defund the police and all that, you know, that's a lot of brilliant people. Look at Portland right now, you know. They're all brilliant out there. And then, you know, then they're asking Trump for money and stuff to get it under control. You know, I feel sorry for the good people out there, but you know what my parents used to say? You made the bed, now sleep in it. So, which means if you want to do all this stupid shit, there's consequences to everything. You can pull out a gun on a cop and get shot and killed. There's consequences to everything, you know. You can tell your boss anything you want. He can fire you. You can do whatever you want in this world, but there's consequences. So, you know, like I said, they made their bed out there. They need to sleep in it. Now, like I said, I feel sorry for the good people that's out there. But this stuff's just got to stop. But what I was getting at is police never used to be, you know, they never really used to get shot. I mean, back in the day, you heard of a cop getting shot, it was big news. It's like, wow, this cop got shot, you know. Nowadays, it's just people shooting at cops. So cops are probably on the list now, but cops used to not even make the list of most dangerous jobs because cops didn't get shot. I mean, people actually respected police. People actually respected people. But once again, what I'm saying is people don't think about truck drivers and how dangerous this job is, and people jackknifing and flipping them. And you know, just now in Cincinnati, there was a semi that caught on fire, and you know, 2 semis got in an accident. One caught on fire. I heard they're both okay. But you know, that bridge is out in Cincinnati. So that's another thing you guys got to think about that's wanting to become truck drivers, okay? Once again, you see that 53-foot trailer back there. Sometimes when you get lost in a car, it's hard to get turned around. Well, when you get lost in a semi, you just don't turn around this. So be careful if you ever try to do a U-turn on a road or anything crazy, because you'll get stuck and then you'll be there for hours having to get dug out. So like I said before, you know, you get a detour or something, you got to go on these back roads. Like I said, I've been driving a semi for off and on for 10 years, and there'll be times where you'll be going through a city or something and there'll be a bad accident, or you'll get detoured and you'll have to go through tight places. You know, the roads might be tight, you know, bridges might be low. You really got to watch stuff. But like I said, this is just things that the average people never think about. So I mean, I just wish, you know, I make these videos because, one, I'm fed up with how America is and how everybody gets glory for really, you know, their job, and I respect them, but they get so much glory for what they do, and it's like, you know, it's just crazy. And I've told a lot of people, I said, you know, I could be in the military, have a uniform on, and I could go out and drive around in circles all day, and people would come up and tell me I'm a hero and thank you for your service and this and that. And, and I'm not doing nothing. I'm driving around in circles all day. But, out here I'm actually doing a job where I'm benefiting America every single day. And like I've said, I've never got one thanks from nobody out here. Never one thanks. But if I had my military uniform on, I'd be getting thanks left and right. I'd be called a hero. I would be like, they would think, they would probably be bowing down to me if I was in the military. And I just think it's amazing because, like I said, the military didn't work out for me. I joined it, it didn't work out. But it's just amazing how much respect you get when you're in the military compared to when you're out. So, like I said, with that being said, hopefully, if just one person watches this video, hopefully they just think and, a little bit about when they're around the truck, about cutting them off or riding in their blind spot. Just think about treating each other a little bit better because, when the day's done and over with, you don't know why that person was in a hurry. I get mad at people rushing around me. Their wife could be having a baby. They could be sick and driving themselves to the hospital. They could have a death in the family. Truck driver speeding and acting like an idiot could be trying to get home to his family. He could be out in California and be trying to get home to Maine, which is going to take him 3 to 4 days to begin with obeying by the hours and everything. I mean, everybody's got stuff going on in their life, and this coronavirus has just made the world so much worse because people get mad with people that don't wear masks and everything, and people's just bitter and fed up, and everybody's just on their last nerve with everyone. But everybody just needs to think that everybody in this world, no matter how their life may seem, everybody is battling some issue, whether it's a family member on drugs, whether they're on drugs, whether somebody just had a miscarriage, whether family member sick, has cancer, somebody has the coronavirus, somebody just got told that they only have 2 or 3 months to live. None of us out here in this world know what everybody's going through. And everybody, you could have depression, anxiety. You could be worried about this corona. You could be catching it, so you could be staying inside, so you're getting lonely and depressed. There's a million things that people could have going on. But what I'm trying to say is that everybody, no matter how rich or how poor you are, everybody's struggling and having problems in their own way. And so just something to think about the rest of the day if you watch this. Like I said, I've already been rambling for over a half an hour, but I just want people to look at life different. Respect people that do every job, not just the military, firefighter, cops, janitors, lawyers, doctors, nurses, people that work in the dental field. Just respect everyone, because if it wasn't for them, their job is important, because if their job wasn't important, they wouldn't be there. If driving a semi was important, you wouldn't see all these trucks on the road every day on the freeway. It just, like I said, just think about everything I said. And, I hope everybody has a wonderful day.